is going to be okay. So today we're going to talk about page object model. We're going to look at how we can be able to look at how come about page object models, and also look at the overviews which I have here. What is page model? What is page object model? Before I continue, can you guys hear me very well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So who founded or popularized page object model? We're going to look at the key features of page object model. And also we're going to look at the challenges of page object model, and also look at how we can be able to see, if we have time, to look at one or two questions, concerning this page object model, and see how we can be able to, get a better insight about it, and also look at the step-by-step, implementation of page object model. Okay, guys. So, what is page object model actually? Page object model is a design pattern in test automation used to create an object repository for web UI elements. This pattern helps to improve the maintainability and readability of the test scripts by separating the test code from the page-specific code. Page object model is used in automation testing, where each web page or mobile page in web application is represented as a class. For example, when we have a login page .cs, which is the C#. Do you understand? If it is in Java, it is, we create class. You remember, some of you guys that have had the opportunity to have a Java section, so you have .java. If you look at our test class, we do have a .cs. So that's how it is represented, or with page, login page, like, login step.cs. We do have a login page.cs. It's, when we create a separate class for that, and this class contains the elements and actions that can be performed on that page. This makes the test code more maintainable, as changes to that page can be made in one place instead of in multiple tests.
No, that's not legit.
In multiple pages. So what that means is that, can someone pause? Can someone mute if you're not talking? So at the end of the day, what this means is that instead of us having, one particular element, for example, in a login page, we're having that particular element, in another class that has to do with login page, that, thereby having different elements, of pages in different classes. By the time we want to have some changes, when a particular locator changes, we have to go through that more than one pages in that class, in more than one class, or in that particular test suite, and start updating, different pages or different classes. So it becomes so noisy, it becomes so, cumbersome. Do you understand? And all that. So at the end of the day, the professionals, and all these, if I will use that phrase, great guys of Selenium, that Selenium community, began to implement, some page object models. We have more than, up to about 20 page object model patterns within the Selenium community that we use. So it becomes, a kind of imperative for these, professionals to try to model a way where, all the page objects of the objects should be in one particular page. So it will be easier and very, very encouraging to make changes in one particular class than having to make all changes in all classes, in all pages, within that test script, in that project. So page object model is a design pattern in Selenium. You guys should know that it's only, practicing Selenium, and it is not a framework, because some people will say it is a framework, but it's not a framework, it's a pattern that is being used, in Selenium, and it is popularly used in test automation. So page factory is another approach, of implementing the page object model. But we make use of accurate find by annotations to find our web elements by initiating the method called init element, used along with parameters. But page factory is completely out of scope for this presentation and internship. Okay. So who founded or popularized page object model? So this guy called Martin Fowler actually popularized it. Why it is widely used and recognized in the software testing community, it does not have a single founder. Page object model does not have a single founder in the traditional sense. Instead, it was popularized by various thought leaders and practitioners in the field of software testing. But however, Martin Fowler is a renowned engineer and also is the one handling the page, the Selenium WebDriver. And also, I don't want to go into details with how WebDriver processes works with respect to the drivers of all different web drivers. I don't really want to go into that, but he is the guy that is responsible for Selenium WebDriver and is well known within that Selenium community. He is the one that actually popularized it, and also you can also Google Martin Fowler and follow him if you want to in his blog, okay? And these are the key features of page object model, okay? Separation of concern. Page objects separate the code responsible for interacting with the user interface from the text logic, okay? This separation makes it more organized and easier to maintain. And a page object model, creates this usability, approach whereby, this page object is encapsulated, within a page structure. And also it allows to look at the behavior, of that particular class. When I say .cs, when I mean class, login.cs could be a class, registration class, search class, So that's what page model does, You can be able to use that particular code, every now and then, without having to create efforts to create a similar, code in another class. For example, you want to create a similar code again in login class after you must have created it in registration class. So it allows that maintainability, when the structure or the UI element of a web page change. You only need to update the affected page objects, not every text that interacts with that page. Do you understand? So this reduces maintenance effort and minimizes the chances of introducing errors. So it enhanced readability as well. Test scripts that use page objects become more readable and self-explanatory, as time goes on, when you begin to, implement page object model in your project, you begin to have more, more, what I say, you have more confidence in the script that you are writing, you are creating as well. So it, it creates that, this approach of a concise test scripts, with page object model. Test scripts mainly consist of high-level actions, making them concise. Most of the low-level implementation details are abstracted into that page class. So these are some of the key features of page object model. So some challenges of page object model that we encounter is the initial setup. Designing and implementing page object might take more time initially. Nonetheless, the long-term benefits outweigh the initial investments. So what that means, for every class that you create, for every test class that you create, a corresponding page object. Okay? So that could be cumbersome if you have to write, if it is 10 features you are writing and creating that 10 test classes, you have to create, the corresponding 10-page classes along with that test class that you have created. For example, if you are creating login page, you are creating registration page, you are creating set page, you are creating, sign up page, you are creating home page. You have to, correspondingly create, a separate page class along with this test class as well. So these are, I personally researched and put these examples of objects on the page together. These are the examples of,
Good evening, Howard.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. We are finding it difficult to see your screen. It's currently on the first page. We can't see what.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not on.
What page are you other seeing? Sorry.
Page 1.
The first slide, an introduction to presentation series.
It's not on presentation mode, Howard.
Are you serious? Are you seeing it now? Is it moving now?
No.
Maybe you stop sharing and share again.
Are you serious? How come you guys didn't tell me that? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, but then put it on presentation mode.
I put it on presentation mode. Slideshow, right? Okay. Can you see it now? My screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So if I move it now, can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Can you see the next slide?
Yeah.
Please tell me if you can see it.
We can see it. We can see it.
Okay. Can you see the next slide?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay,
Challenge
is it okay now?
challenges of page object model.
Okay. Now, don't worry, I will try as much as possible to give you guys this slide if you want it, okay? So can you guys see it? Now, if you can't see the slide, just let me know.
We can see. Continue, please.
Okay. So these are the examples of the objects on the page. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay. If you look at, for example, let me just put my foot down and go to this slide. Let's take this one. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see Q&A section.
Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen now? What can you see?
Question and answer Q&A section.
Now, right? Okay. Now, let's go back to this. Can you see this screen?
Yeah, example of object on a page.
Okay. Can you still see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, look at the examples of objects. So when we say objects, we are talking about the text field. We are talking about the buttons, the links, the drop down, the check boxes, the radio buttons, the label and the messages, the images, the table, frames and iframes. Those are what we call the objects on that page. When we land in an home page, that is a page of that particular application. Can you hear me? Then, if you want to inspect this page, then if you want to inspect the element, that's when we'll inspect it, inspect the elements. So the element is what make up that object. Can you hear me? So for those of us that really don't have a better understanding of the object, these are the objects that we can find in a page. The input feeds, do you understand, of that text field? When we are selecting boxes from drop down, those are, the objects on that particular page. Can you hear me? So I think this will give us a better understanding of, how we view the objects on the page and how we're able to also, check the elements of that particular object on the page, So the text feed is used for entry text. For example, username, password, search boxes. The buttons trigger actions when clicked. For example, login button, submit button, search button. The links navigate us to different pages or sections. Examples, home link, profile link, logout link, and all that. So the drop downs provides a list of options for us to select for. For example, when we have a country selector, category filter, when we have drop down. So the checkboxes allow selection of one or more options, for example, gender selection, payment method, terms and condition checkbox, subscription preference. The radio buttons allow selection of a single option from a set. For example, gender selection as well, and payment method. Labels and messages, display information or feedback to the user. For example, error messages, success messages, labels for input fields. Images give us, that visual elements, often linked or used for navigation, like product images. Do you understand? When we click some logos, those images, it automatically navigates us to the next page, So, and the examples there is user list, product catalog, transaction history. I'll have, frames and iframes as well. And this embeds, other documents within the current HTML document. I think as time goes on, you guys will get to know how to, more about frames and iframes, like advertisement frames, embedded videos. That's what I'm saying. So that's for page object model. It's just a concise, simple, concept of pattern that we just need to know. So this is a small section that I just carved out for question and answer. Do we have any question concerning page object model? Does anyone have any question? Is it clear to some or all of us?
Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
I have one question.
Okay.
Like drop down, is a selection of like the drop down, the selection of selection boxes and provide all a list option to select from. Like example now, like if I want to select like Mr., Mrs., and like those title, and I want to find the element, how will I do that? Because like I try to automate one Argos. This is Argos or Tesco. I try to select, they already input the title, like Mr., Mrs., Doctor. They already put the, when you click it, when you click the element, it will show that the list of the titles. How will I do that one?
Okay. I'm coming. Let me put this down. Guys, sometimes you need to be practical. Can you see my screen? Because I open a web
Yes.
page. Can you see my screen? I open a web page, right?
No, example of object on a page. That's what is showing.
Okay. Can you see my page that I open?
No.
The
The presentation
browser you're
you,
opening is
that
not
is
coming up.
what is
Maybe you
showing.
stop sharing and share again.
Okay. I think I need to stop sharing. Then let me share again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
I'm in the website, right? Can you see
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay, let's just use something like this. Who was talking just now? Sorry.
Taiwo.
Taiwo.
Yes.
Okay, Taiwo, you see this screen, right?
Yes.
When we were talking just now, this is a drop down, right?
Yes.
Okay, now if we want to automate this, we need to say we'll drop down, right? We automate any of this. This is a page, right? This is an
Yes.
object. This is an object of the page. This is the page, right? This is
Yes.
an object. This link. These are objects. Then if we want to take this, we'll automate like this and check the element, right? Inspect it, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
We'll check it, right? Okay. What you are saying that, for example, a drop-down list like this, right? Because if you notice this place, a drop-down, right? Meaning, when you drop down, can you explain from here so we can have a better understanding?
Like now, you want to register on this site now.
Okay.
Now you click my account. You know, there is a drop down.
Yes.
Register and login. Now, like if you want to create a feature for this one now, like let's say I click on register. First to be I click on my account. Now, followed by I click on register or login.
Now, very good. Don't forget, Taiwo, let's make sense out of it. You know, there are some other features that you just put your console like this. It will just, you hover over it like this, it will just come down. Do you know that?
Yes.
I think we have seen that, right, guys? You just hover over it like this. You see the drop down will drop. Why this? You need to click. Why some, like you have to write a step for it, that when you hover on my account, the drop down, you see what registration date. But this one you need to click. Look, you see, when I hover over it, you see, it's not coming up.
It's not on.
So we need to click before it opens the registration, the drop down for registration and login. Right?
Yeah.
So we need to always watch out for this kind of scenarios where we'll say, when we click on my account, then we can click on registration or login, but some we will just hover, automatically it drops. There are stuff like that now, like this one, this currency, you must click on it for it to come up. Do you understand? But some application or website, you just need to hover on it and it will just show. Right? So, Taiwo, if I hear you right, is that and there are some you said there was an application
Like,
that you dropped down.
Yes, like if you click register now, I don't know, maybe it's there. You can, let's see if you click register.
Okay.
Maybe
You
we
click on
should.
register now. Okay.
There is no title for this one. Can
No,
we?
there is no title for this one, right? But
Yeah, no
I think
title. Let's use Tesco, please. Can you
okay.
log on to Tesco?
Okay, yes. We are all learning. Tesco what? Sorry.
That be just Tesco, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. You said sign in, right? Or my account?
No, my account. Click on my account.
Okay, you see this one. We need to click on it. It comes like this. Okay. Where what I
That is register for an account.
where is
Just click
okay,
on it.
this one. Okay. We are here now. Okay, you're talking about the title or what? Taiwo.
With you. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm with you.
Okay, we have this. You see this drop down. We need to select titles for it.
Yes. How do we find the element of these titles?
Okay, like this one now. You see, it goes like this.
Yes.
It goes. You see,
Mm.
you cannot find that element of that one. Okay,
How
now
do we write? And now, how do we write the
element?
the paid object? How
Okay.
do we write this one?
Okay, now this was a kind of consent that we didn't know about, right? Now, Selector Hub have a way of handling this. Now, when you say this, and we say this one, you say it will not go. So when we do this, I think Selectors Hub knows how to freeze it. Let me check my Selectors Hub if it's still working. Okay. Won't say expect, let's see. Because there's a way we can freeze it and use that particular I want to check if I will remember. I'll go I think this is a very good stuff, and I know I've seen this thing before. I think I'm gonna make sure I do this, and I'll come back to you guys because I know I don't know where I kept this particular stuff you're talking about.
Okay.
But I think selector sub has a way of freezing that particular place. Then we'll now automate it. I think I owe you guys this one. You know. So Taiwo,
Yes.
Selectors Hub has a way of overcoming this particular stuff you just said, which is a good it's a good observation, you know, and I'm going to demo it for you guys before you guys wrap up, okay?
Okay. I will
Selectors
share
Hub
my
has,
screen, but I'm at work.
yes,
Because the reason why I asked that question, because when I try to automate the particular site,
okay,
now the element of this title is not interacting. That is the only thing that he complain about.
yes, I completely understand that particular situation. I've been in that situation before, so I have to do some researches, which I actually found out, but I've not been able. I've not had this kind of scenario in whatever page I'm automating. But I have a way of overcoming it. Selection Sub has given a proper way to freeze that particular page and that particular page and just just be able to inspect the element. I will find out if I do. I'm going to quickly share it with you guys. The step-by-step ways of making sure we're able to overcome this, because when you have to select this, before you select, you have to inspect it, and you see it disappears, it runs away, So there are ways of doing it, other ways though, but yeah, we'll kind of figure that out, and I'll share it with you guys as soon as possible, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so we have can you see my screen for this one? Do we still have we're on QA sections now, right? Can you see my screen? I'm sharing my
No.
presentation.
No, it's still on the Tesco website.
Okay, let me stop and share again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Now we are on Q&A section, right? Does anyone have any question to share, or any observations, or any contribution? Are we guys clear? Guys, let's have a conversation. Are we guys clear? Hello? Temitope, are you clear?
Yes, to an extent, yes.
To an extent. If you have any concerns, do you want to share? Any concern that you think you have before we go into like step-by-step page object implementation? Like I said, we're going to practically demo it with any of us. I don't want to use mine, like any guy that will be available. Temitope, if you're available, if your system is available, we should just look at the application you are using now to test, right? Let's see how we can open it. We'll demo how to actually inspect, any page, the elements, right? So this is the last step to share. And also, we'll stop sharing now. Okay. So is it clear? If it's not clear, guys, with you guys, just if there is any question along the way, just ask, and if there's any observations, okay? So Temitope, please, can you share your screen? I want you to share the application you are using so that we can practically demonstrate how to, to generally, come up with, locating any page, any element in the page, okay? Temitope is my friend. He's the one that has been sharing. If you would, please, okay? Now, Temitope, please, can you open the website that you guys are using first to test? Do you have it open? So, guys, just as we have seen in that particular presentation that I gave, okay? If we look at this website, just as we have shared, the text boxes, the login buttons, the images, which is the logo, these are the pages that we can, practically inspect their elements. For example, if we look at this page now, we want to check the elements. We can just right-click on the shop now, and click on the elements, okay? And also, we can right-click on the long-reach image and right-click the home page, the sign-up page, the login page, shop page. All these are objects, on this particular page, the frame you see there, like the photo here, these are particularly, the objects on this particular page as well. So we can equally do some, inspections on this particular object on this particular page with respect to the feature that we are working on at the moment. For example, Temitope, what particular feature are you working on now at the moment? And see if we can be able to do some, implementation, if we can be able to get something done.
We left off last week at a project on this long reach, which I raised a concern about how to listen. I think you said we'll continue from there this week. So.
Okay, please, if you can remind me where we left off.
We were trying to tune in to the feature. I think we finded it. We created the step definition, and we have the page objects. So. Can you hear me, Aaron?
Yeah, I can hear you. We are looking at the login button. Let's go back to that particular. We can do some, not all, because you do everything, but just to, we are looking at how we can be able to, locate elements, and also see how we can be able to create our page object, right? Within that page class, right? So let me look at that particular story again, the feature files, and see. Okay, given I'm on when I on the home page and I see the logo on the header and I click on the logo, then I should be redirected to the home page. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Let's look at how we can locate elements for this, okay?
Okay.
Have you created this page class for this?
Yes, there's a page class for it.
Okay. So let's go to the page, what's it called? The page now. When we're on the page, this is the page, right?
Yes.
Is this the home page to this particular?
Yes, this is the home page.
Okay. So we are creating the locators, right? For this particular class. So let's go to the feature file in your Visual Studio. Given I'm a user of the long, okay. When I'm on the home page and I see the logo on the header and I click on the locate, let's see how we can be able to validate that we are on the home page, okay? Let's go to that particular home page of that website. How can we validate now that is displayed? Let's say that logo is displayed, okay? So let's right click that logo. As I said, let's use Selectors Hub. Let's copy the relative text part.
It's copied.
Okay. Let's go to the page,
The page object.
the logo, the page object, right? Okay. Private by how are we going to call this? Put it there. Okay. Is it that long? Okay. Let's go to the beginning. Private by web element homepage. I'm trying to make a sense out of it now. Let's say private iWeb element. Homepage equals to driver dot find element. by dot. Okay. Okay, that one is settled. Okay, let's go ahead. Then
Okay.
let's look at the put it on 21. The console on 21. Okay, go back to your feature file. When I'm on the home page, we've already done that, and I see the logo on the header. I think we are still going to copy that logo too, because we're going to see the logo on the header.
Okay.
If it can make sense out of it, because we use that when I'm on the home page, we use the logo as that as an evidence that we're on that home page, right? We can equally use any other page on any object on that page, but we decide to use that logo. I decide to use that logo. You can use anyone, right? We can even use the link, the website link is displayed there, you know. But however, let's just go ahead. When I see the logo on the home, on the header, right? So let's write another private iWeb element. Okay.
This is
Say,
the logo.
let's say logo on page, just to make a sense out of it, logo with O, yes, no, logo, that on, right? Let's make the O and the O capital. Camel casing now, you remember camel casing. The same that equals to like, I don't know. I think I'll look for the name to call it. Also, driver dot find element. Then you bracket, you know, dot find element. Okay. The by the expert. I think we're gonna have that same thing that we copied, right? Because it's the same
The
logo
same
on
element.
the
Yeah.
element, yeah. Let's use relative expert first. Is it showing red?
Oh, by the end of it.
No, because if you notice, you are missing one, the bracket. Supposed to be like two double bracket at the end, because you know that by bracket is encapsulated. The by
Okay.
dot expert is encapsulated within that by dot, you know, by. Is it off now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you see, and guys, if you follow the
Yes, sir.
pattern, when we go back, when I was telling you guys, it's a clean code. It is clear. It is reusable. If you look at, I'm coming. One of these stuff that I talked about during the key features, right? It is concise. The test script is concise. There's no need for you can easily read it, the test scripts, and it becomes, it now becomes, so understandable if you are doing this. If you are creating the private iWeb elements, you try to give a very simple and concise name for the page. Do you understand? Like logon page, logo on page. Do you understand? And that's the way to go about it. Do you understand? And you look at how you can be able to reuse any code that you feel that fits into the next, steps that you're able to come up with. Do you understand? You have to be very, very smart in making sure, you are able to reuse any code that you feel will enhance your automation script, your automation execution. Do you understand? That's just it. But if you don't look at it this way and practice it, you might find that, when they say code, it will be so frightening. But by the time you now find out that you have that process, that standard of, if you want to create your page object, you use this page class, first and foremost, you declare your constructor, you now declare your bilocators, which we are doing now, your bilocators. By that, expert is your locator, ID is your locator, CSS is your locator. So here you have three steps within your page class. Always remember that 3 steps. You have your constructor, which you have constructed, which is your public. You've declared that method public, iWeb driver. Do you understand? Driver equals to base test. That's your constructor. You've created it. You now begin to create another step again, your bilocators. All your bilocators, all your elements are there. All your elements that you are finding in that page are all encapsulated within this particular, bilocators. Then you begin to create your steps, your methods, your actions, that gives the behavior of that particular, feature that you are trying to display here, you are trying to explain here. So all this you are creating now, all, the libraries, within that particular class you call your page, your login page or search page or registration page, whatever you call it, So you don't declare, you don't create your test class, is displayed here and everything. Everything is your step definition. It will become clear. You don't declare, your username and password within this class. It's against the practice. Do you understand? So you just create everything that has to do with your pages in one class. All your elements you are finding and the behavior, because you are giving the behavior of that particular, feature. That's what you are creating here within the class. Do you understand? With respect to the page you are creating, if it is a page for the login or the registration or the search page. So I don't want to do everything for you guys here. Do you understand? You have to just come up with your Temitope, you understand now how you are, because I need you to complete the rest. You think out of the box what you will do. So this is how you create it. Then let's create the page actions. Okay. Then I will not complete the page actions, but you will finish the page actions. Okay.
Okay.
So when we go, when you look at it now, if you want to create the page actions, right, we'll just say you come down, just come down. Now, when you come down a little bit, come to line 20, 25. Okay, no, just come down to line 27. Knowing fully well that you complete that, okay? It takes about maybe 2, 3, 4 for you to complete, okay? Then how do you do when you want to write comments, right? I think you say /, isn't it? If I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, you just say the actions or the methods of that page, just say actions.
Actions, yeah.
Then just say
You want
action
me-
because you are going to perform actions on this particular page, right?
All right.
So we'll say public void
Should I put it beside the actions?
no, down.
Mm.
Down. Okay. Say public void. Say like you say, for example, let's use that home page, for example, right? Home page that we created, right?
Okay.
Then quote how do you call it now? When you say brackets, right? Don't give space. Okay, brackets. Then when you come out of it, curly brackets double. I think this one, how are we going to put it now? I think we will use say enter home page. Let's try that one or something like that. Or home page displayed, something like that. No, just put it behind our home page. That home page, yeah. Let's say if
Home
you
page
put,
displayed.
let's say that. Because we're going to assert, right? Something like that, For example, because we are looking at it and we are going to do some, assertions with that. So we will just because this is going to come handy too if we are dealing with the step definition side of the test class, right? So you begin to create something like this, like you now say home page. Is it click? Well, not particularly, it's going to be displayed, displayed or something like that, So we will say home page dot click. I think, are we clicking on that? I think we are clicking on it, if I'm not mistaken again, but we're going to check it. But this is how to create a page object, right? So you just close it now, full stop. Yeah, do you understand? So by the time you look at properly, if probably, you've not looked at subsequent videos, you look at videos, automatically you know how to create your page actions, These are the page actions we have to create because, as I said, you have to be very, very mindful that, you have 3 processes within that page class, which is your constructor, your bilocators, and the page actions, which is this method you are creating. Anytime you have this public void stuff, it's the method that you are creating. Do you understand? So when you look at these and you look at your subsequent videos, which I also advise you guys have to do your personal, research, it now makes things a lot more easier when you are creating your page objects. Can you hear me? If you guys
Yes.
are following. But now, it's good. You guys, the majority of you guys, if it is what I'm suspecting, you do yourself a disservice if you don't practice. If you don't look at these slides again that I have taught, and also go back to your previous videos that you have been taught with, and also do your own personal research, because the videos that you have right now and what we are teaching, I would say, are not enough. So you have to always be very, 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 very up to date with you yourself doing your own personal practice rather, and also doing your own research, so that at the end of the day, this stuff will begin to sink in. Because, most of you guys are giving me the impression that probably you are finding it's a challenge, and some of you don't want to own up to say, okay, just to even share your screen, you don't want to share. So a lot of people would want to, dive at it and want to see how they can be able to bring back those memories, which I will absolutely encourage you guys to do, because it has come to a point where, I just want to show you guys what to do, why you guys are getting your hands dirty. When I'm beginning to do, I want to see how you guys are doing it. Why I will be, trying to see how to navigate it for you guys, and you practically will be doing it. Because me, I don't believe in theory, I believe in practice. Because that's how, I was taught here. Show me your boat, do what I want you to do, and before you know it, it becomes handy. It becomes handy for you guys. So basically, the main purpose of today's presentation is to really give you guys, these page object information, how to go about it. It's a very simple concept. It's a pattern that you guys just have to follow, and this pattern is it covers, every other areas of test automation. If it is, with Java or JavaScript or Python, is the same pattern. Do you understand? It's for you to just come up with your own concept. This concept that we have done, like for example, logo on page, somebody can also change one or two words with this, but the same flow remains. Do you understand? So this is how it goes. I just want to show you practically how to inspect, elements on a page, and how to find the right elements to use within that page. So just for main references for reference purpose, if you go back to that particular website, right? So when you are automating, and even if the interview, during interview, just from today, just know that all this, what you are saying here, are all objects of this page. This is a page, the home page, of longrishway.com, right? So whatever you are saying here are objects on the page. And these are all different objects with different names. Here in this particular home page that we are seeing here now, right? we can see buttons, you can see check boxes, you can see links. These are all examples of objects on a page. If you've not known this before, know this, and all these carry different names. The drop downs, it's an object. The images you see here, it's an object. The labels you are seeing and the messages, you are seeing here, the radio buttons, the tables you see, the submit buttons you see here, the search buttons, they are all objects on a page. And the way to automate all these objects is to inspect their elements, which we have done, which we have seen now, So, guys, this is what page object model is all about. And we have kind of practically demonstrate for you guys, how to locate the element of a page, of an object on a page. Right, guys? So, yeah, this is it, guys. This is how to implement, the page object model. And if you have further questions, please just let me know. Because I don't want you guys to have the impression that I'm gonna be doing stuff for you. I just wanted to do a little bit of how to, create a page object, a page class, for you guys just to see. And when you go back to your previous videos that probably must have been taught about page objects, you will see. But I will also recommend that you guys should also, before this internship ends, try to do your own research and also continue to practice on how to create your page, class from a particular, feature that you are giving, be it login or search. So it enhances, your constant, know-how on how to create your automation scripts, and it makes you get these things more better and better by the day. Okay, guys? So do you have questions, guys? Hello? Does any of you understand? Or if you don't, do you have any question to ask?
No question. Yeah, no.
Davis, can you pause the recording, please?